Murray Sontag for sure, isn't it, today?
Yes. Love to get together on a Sunday and, put a great show together for the folks. Hello, everyone.
Yes, it's good to be back, Shauno. We've had a little bit of a break here, haven't we, in regards to the Sontag show? But
Yes.
here we are. We're back and going for it. We've got the switcher. We're getting closer to having that one operate on its own. Still playing its own games at the moment to what it wants to do. But welcome back, Shawnee.
Thanks, mate, and great to be with everyone. It's a Sunday, good weekend, good day yesterday. Weather's bloody been great too, Ash, in the 20s. No rain around. Get people out and about in the 20s. It's great.
Bit of lightning last night as well. Just a little bit of a hint. It wasn't too much, of course, but
Well, I was looking at lightning last night on the app that you do, you bomb, and said it was down at Glenelg and it was down at out north, out at Craigmore. But bloody Salisbury East, it missed all of us, so I didn't see any
you
lightning.
didn't get any of it at all?
Did not see any lightning. I heard a bit of
Cheers,
thunder,
anyway.
and cheers to you. Murray Sontag.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yes.
boom. Murray, so yeah, good day of the week, isn't it? Time
Yeah, bit
to
of
turn all the guns off, and we just took the bathroom door off, didn't we, for Mandy to get her paintbrush out.
yeah. Made sure a shower cap was placed
Oh,
back
mate, that
strategically.
went back in the right spot, didn't
We
it?
did the right thing by her, and she's going to paint you a door. Let's see if it's in power colours. Do you think she'll do it in black, white, and teal?
There's a good chance it'll be white, I reckon, if it's anything than that. One side might be black. If there's two on there, there might be a bit of trouble, I reckon, but see how we go.
Yeah, I don't. You'd want that just to be white, wouldn't you? Or a beige, or a Richie Benno off-white, or a beige, or a...
Well, the bedroom side could be whatever colour to
Yeah.
suit the bedroom, but
Power colours?
the trouble is if you only paint one side of the door, it bows anyway. So you've got to equal it up anyway. If you,
Right.
Whatever you do to one, you got to do the other. And
Okay.
But,
Well, I mean, this is where your technical expertise comes in.
it's
I've
where
got
it
no
comes
idea.
in, mate. The old building trade, yeah, absolutely.
And you would have had a good week, wouldn't you?
Not a bad week, mate. We've been out and about on the road. We've been up to Truro. I had to have a look around there and the barrels, make sure all the barrels were all clear up there. But no, Truro hasn't changed a bit, has it, over all those years? It's still exactly the same. And they got the old pub there. I think Cooper's own it now, I reckon.
Oh, really?
There's a Cooper sign and the old West End sign, Truro, written out the front there. But no, it hasn't changed in a million years. I think it's exactly how it was all those years ago.
I feel sorry for towns like Truro and Snowtown. You know, they've got that reputation, and really, they did nothing to deserve it. You know, it's just people mention Truro and they go, "Oh God, we're the bodies." You know, Snowtown, don't go to the bank.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't go to the bank.
Yeah, if you're going to make sure it's a withdrawal, not a deposit. So you know, it's poor towns like that. They get that reputation, don't they? And
They do, and
they've done nothing to.
they
to get
depend
it.
on the bakeries as well, don't they?
Oh, yeah, and they've done nothing to deserve that sort of thing. But yeah, Truro, is there many people live there? Like, I don't know, what's the population of Truro?
I'd say about 110. Wouldn't be much more.
Right, okay, just farming people.
Yeah, I think so. You've got a few farmers up there, and you've got there are lots of paddocks and that. So most of it would be cockies, I reckon. They might have a co-op up there and a pub, of course, to keep the dust down later on in the day. But yeah, most of it up there, it's big cockies, bakeries, petrol stations, and that's really just a through anyway. If you need to top up, you can, going out towards Blanchetown or on the way back into Adelaide, you can. So
They probably have a local footy team, wouldn't they, or something like that? Most of those
the
country
Truro
towns do.
Tigers, mate.
Is it really?
No, I've got no idea.
Sorry, you got me
No
with that.
idea.
I tend to believe what you tell me, so you got me hook, line, and sinker there. But yeah, the Truro Tigers. I'm sure they're a
We'll
good
run
team.
with that for now.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably be high on the looking after the concussion protocols out there. I would have thought, but yeah, they've probably got a netball team or a footy team.
They'd have
or
all
a-
that. That's
Yeah.
the kids are going to do something. So, no, we did a house up there for one of the local builders, and yeah, old Kenny was up there pulling down one of the old toilet sheds, and yeah, had a word with Kenny, and yeah, sure enough, trying to get these doors in, and they didn't want to go in too well. So we'll leave that one alone. It's Sunday, so
Go back tomorrow.
yeah, back to the smelter tomorrow. So
That'll be
Excuse
exciting
me.
for you.
No, not really. So we'll undertake that again and start another week.
It's got that vicious cycle to it, hasn't it? You need
Yeah.
to go on annual leave, Ash. You need some time off. You need
Not long. We've got Bali coming up in July, so that's only 6 weeks away now. I think it's the first Friday we fly out of July, so it's not far from here. But
how long are you going away for?
about 2 weeks and about
Nice.
4 days, something like that.
You'd
So
go and hit all the water slides up, wouldn't you?
Mandy will. Mandy will. Yeah, I'll keep hold of her towel, but
You're down the bottom waiting for
yeah,
her
I'm
to
always
arrive.
down the bottom. I'm not interested too much in doing that shit. But no, she's a kid at heart, mate. She loves doing that stuff, and no, I like just to watch and grab a beer, mate.
Happy life, Ash.
Have all that water up my bottom isn't really exciting for me, but you never know.
Well,
I could get a shorter bathing suit, and it probably could do me good.
Well, I mean, if you did that, I reckon you'd have plenty of offers anyway. But no, look, Waterbomb Park, I went there with the kids. Bloody great experience. I'm a big kid at heart, so I went on all the rides. And there was one that I think I've said previously on the show where you just you come down a slide and get airborne. And I nearly went over into the house with all the 15 dogs and
Is that right?
30 people out in the backyard. well, they said don't go down as an individual because you're too light. And I said, rubbish. So didn't believe the bloke and got airborne in the air, and I just thought I was going to die in Indonesia. So saw the ground and the barking dogs in the paddock of the backyard behind the Waterbomb Park, and thought I was gone. So I thought this is how it all ends. But so he was actually quite true with what he was saying. So I went up with the kids next time. But
Where was that, in Denpasar or?
No, just in Bali. So in Bali, Waterbomb Park, it's quite a popular place. There's another great ride there, Ash, which might be your go. You just sit in a rubber sort of tube, and you just float around at 0.5 of a kilometre an hour just while they play relaxing music.
Okay.
And you go around mini islands and follow the flow of the water.
Can you drink on that one? Or?
Oh, I don't know, but you can have a go and see how far you get. But you just drift along with the tide, so that it's.
Have they got all the reggae music in the background going, and you fall asleep on your tube?
Well, I fell asleep about halfway through because it goes for about half an hour, and fell asleep, and some little bastard jumped in and landed on one, and up I went. And
of course he did.
Up. But
Flipped you over.
But great park, and very, very popular with the kiddies. And I wouldn't go during school time if I was you and the missus, because that's very popular time up there. People love going to that.
Now, you've started a new job. We don't really want to go where it is. You've one door closed, and we've opened another one up, which is fantastic. So you've just started there in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, last couple of weeks, and just doing some
How good's that,
admin duties, and back into life. It's life can get people down, and things can, when they're not going right. So new challenge, new role, and
well done.
Started a couple of weeks ago, and look, again, I thank you personally.
No, proud of you.
And,
doors shut and more doors open. So that's a great turnaround, and I'm really over the moon that one's come off for you. And
thank you.
For now, it's somewhere to start again and step up and move up again, like you normally do. So
I just think it's
tip my cap. Well done.
No, thank you, and look, thank you to you for your support. You've been enormous during the my struggle times, and it's been quite difficult. So I think we're out the other side now, and you've been a big part of that. So I want to thank you personally as well for all your help. And
Too
support,
easy, mate.
And,
that's what friends do for each other. So all good.
So we've got through, Ash, I think, and
sounds like it.
God knows what comes next in life, as you know. But life can do a few blows, but look, we're out the other side, and feeling good about life again, which is good, because it can get you down when things aren't going your way.
You sound brighter, you sound bubbly, that's all good. It's
just
all
need the Yankees to win, and
well, we can go on about the Yankees, because they I really have tried to stay away from the text with Maz as well, so that I don't jinx it, but I think they jinx themselves anyway. They're on the way down again. They did get 7 or 8 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And look, as we spoke about the roller coaster of the 162 games. So Currently, they're on a bit of a win one, lose one sort of scenario. The unfortunate thing is that Max Fried has gone down injured. He's done an arm injury. They're expecting him not to be long, but goodness, compared to what he was doing in the start of the season, it's quite a massive loss. So, not sure how long he'll be out. Carlos Rodon did come back in good news. He threw 4 innings the other day in a game, which they won. Threw up to about 93, 94 mile an hour, which is unusual for him because he's usually around the 90, 91. So he got up in velocity, but only threw 4 innings. So that was a start, though, to get him back. So, you sort of lose one, game one. So they're not really, their luck isn't great because, to hang on to Max in the form he was in and gain Carlos would have been massive. But they sit 2 games behind Tampa currently. Tampa were on a tear. They won
28 wins, 18 losses. Yeah, and Tampa Bay's on 29 and 15.
Yeah, Tampa were on fire. They won about 9 or 10 in a row. So
seems to be, doesn't it? Seems to get a run and then it seems to just go off the ball. I know the lefties have gone off the ball again, and it doesn't take long, does it, before you start to hand it all back again. Look, it's a long season. We all know that. It's 161 games. It's massive amount of time. But the Judge, man, he's still hitting pretty well. He's still smacking, I think he's up to 15, 16 now, is he?
He's up to about 16, and look, he'll continue to do that. They just need people to go with him.
Ricey has too. Ricey's been up there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's hit a few. I mean, Caballero was batting really, really well for them.
Yeah, he's hot and cold though, isn't he? When he's on, he's on.
Well, he's on the DL now, so he got injured the other day as well, running up the line. So, I as I say to you, mate, it's a roller coaster. She's a roller coaster. It's
you can never get comfortable with it, can you?
No.
Because as soon as you get comfortable, boom, you hand it all back, and boy, does it frustrate you.
Well, I spoke to someone at work the other day who is a Padres fan and the new job, and we were talking about it, the roller coaster of it all, and he said to me he doesn't tune in until September. He follows footy right through the winter, and then he gets to September and he goes, right, now what are we going to see? Because that's, he said, if you get involved in the whole from game one, you're going to do your head in because you're going to be up, you're going to be down, you're going to be up, you're going to be down. So fair point, I thought. So his footy team is Collingwood. So I said to him, well, they're a bit up and down as well at the minute. But
yeah, they're struggling, aren't they?
So bit interesting. But as he said, baseball, September, yep. I'm just going to start looking at that point in time, and I thought that was a fair point to make, to be honest. You just tune in then, and then you know what you're dealing with.
Pretty soft, I think. I think that you need to be emotional and go up and down with it all year.
Take the whole journey.
Yeah. There's so many games in it. There's no other sport like it where you play 161 games.
Yeah.
You have one day off a week, and you still travel by bus a lot of the time just to do your trips. And
yeah.
Frickin' crazy, isn't it?
Oh, well, I mean, 162 games. I mean, you and I were flat out doing 16 for Dodgers during the year. So,
That was enough. It took you all that time to get over the game itself.
Yeah, exactly. We were still 150 games short. But, it's a long season. And look, but that's what it is. And I think that's part of the charm of it, Like, man, it's a war.
It is war. Yeah, it just
it's
keeps
a
going.
war. So... you're in it for 162 games. And, as Booney said at the start of the year when he was on Talking Yanks, he goes, tomorrow's day one. And he goes, we're locking in. We're going.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think look, that's part of it. We bang on about Brooksy, but, part of winning's losing. So you've got to get back on the bike the next day and just go again, don't you? There's day one tomorrow. We're in a different town, or we're hosting somebody there in Yankee Stadium there.
Well, it's not like you can pull out of it.
No, not at all. But
like the Red Sox have.
Yeah, no, well, the Yanks have been playing the Mets, haven't they? So is it 1-1 at the minute?
One game all. I'm not quite sure. I'll just have a quick look for folks. Just to,
1-1, and I saw the first game, and the Yanks looked pretty cool. They were sort of 4-love up pretty early, and I think they ended up winning possibly 6-3 or 6-4, pretty comfortable in the end.
Lost 6-3 today.
So they've handed back their win.
Handed back their. So they won 6-4 yesterday, lost 6-3 today. So, but I mean the Mets haven't been great this year. So and look, they're really going to be in a bit of trouble now because they lost Clay Holmes yesterday. Clay Holmes got a comebacker in the shin.
I did see that. Yeah.
He's actually broken his leg, and
He
been
pitched
their
the rest
main
of the
starter.
game, didn't he?
He's been amazing. I loved him as a Yankee.
Was it a crack in the tibia or the tibia, the front bone? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
he'll be out for a while, surely.
well, he's got surgery coming up, so they've got to repair the whole leg. So
Yeah, right. You think how much more damage he did pitching, like. That hit him fat in the leg too, didn't it? Like that had some velocity on it.
yeah, well, young Cam Schittler from the Yankees has had 2 in the last week come back and hit him in the shin, and they've been a bit worried, but he's rebounded both times and kept pitching. So I don't know. Sometimes you get lucky. I've got a permanent dent in my left shin from one that I got back one day against Glenelg up at Kenzie. But yeah, so you got a duck. That's how I got my nickname of Charlie Brown Ash. First game I pitched, I got a line drive back of my head and I ducked and my hat fell off. So someone yelled out, "Oh my God, it's Charlie Brown!" So
God,
that stuck for 40 years. That nickname.
I remember in the grand final 2 years ago, I did that one behind the plate. The third ball in, I could hear the bloke behind me saying, "You're shit on fire, mate. You're shit on fire." And the third ball came through off the bat. And it hit right on my collarbone, and my arm went dead instantly down the my right arm, and like I still got a lump on that collarbone today. I reckon it snapped it straight away, and it was only the third ball in, so I had still 2.5, 3 hours of baseball time
But
left.
you would have soldiered up. You would have just kept going, wouldn't you?
I heard the crowd go, "Ooh," because the sound it makes. It's just a dead sound. It's like hitting wood.
I had the one come back and get me in the shin, and it was during a final, and it hit my leg. I bent down, but I couldn't bend because my leg wouldn't bend then. So I bent down off my right side, picked it up and threw the guy out. And then the ball came back to me, and I was sort of pretending that it wasn't hurting because I didn't want to let the opposition know. So I wandered out the back of the mound and just swore my head off. And the umpire said, "You're right to go." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm all right." So through the next pitch, and man, that hurt. And look, I've got a permanent dent in my leg from where I got it. So
I like it when you do get hit and you actually get the seam of the ball on your skin where it's hit you that hard, and it hangs around for a little while. But
that night my shin blew up, and I had both seams, and we actually won that final surprisingly. But I blew up with following week. I just iced, and I thought, it was still sore for months after. So, look, I mean, broken leg from it. Poor Clay, I liked him as a Yankee. As I said, he was a really good guy, really good pitcher, nice fella. So, yeah, I felt sorry for him with that because he's really been the ace of the Mets, finally got himself into that sort of area. So,
I remember Pete Stingeray, he had a 10 mil deep tear by 150 in his hammy coming down from just below his arse cheek down, and it was 150 by 10 mil thick, and that took him 8 weeks to get that one to heal back properly. But the amount of blood that had gone into his knee or behind his knee was incredible.
Well, knowing
you can get
Stingray,
some pretty serious injuries.
Oh yeah, and knowing Stingray,
let alone the time he got caught catching the ball as the catcher, and there was a bit of wire sticking out. So as he's caught the ball, he slid into the fence. And then he's got 6 inches of cyclone cable up his arm. So I said, "Hurry up, Pete." And he said, "I will once I can unscrew my arm from the fence." So, once again, there he was.
Oh, dear.
Drank a dozen beers, went to the hospital, and got a tetanus injection on the way home.
He's a tough character, though.
He's as tough as they come.
He wouldn't have flinched at that. But, he's a hammy that bad, though. I mean, I've never really done hammies. I don't know about you, but I've only done the
touch wood. No,
only done the one where I was playing footy last season for the Tea Tree Gully Masters, and ran off half back, kicked it 50 metres, got a bit of a head wobble because I thought I'm just dominating this, and hit
You
the
felt
target.
like Andrew Jarman, did you?
Oh, I was at my best, and went down and scored a goal, and I thought that's all me. That's all me there, and then had to come off because I thought, oh, geez, I'm a bit tight.
That was a big tear.
No, it wasn't a big tear, but I did my hammy, and I thought, geez, this is painful. Like,
No, I've never done them. Never done them.
Oh, wow.
I know Joe did his Achilles, and that sounded like someone. He said it felt like someone had hit him with a hammer or the back of a baseball bat, but they reckon those pop when they tear. And then, of course, that travels up the back of your leg towards your knee.
Oh.
So, of course, and that was in Geelong, and he had to drive all the way home back to Adelaide
Wowzers.
during the game hot.
Wowzers.
So he packed his gear up and drove home, and then, obviously had to have some sort of surgery to pull it back down again.
And that's a big hamstring of Joe.
That would be a big, yeah. Would match his thumbs.
Well, no, he's a big man. That would have been a tight hamstring, I would have thought. But no, look, they say with the Achilles, the reason the pain's there is because when it snaps, the stretchy part of your Achilles and your calf
Yes.
shoots straight up the calf.
That's right. Goes up towards the back of your knee.
Yeah, so I don't know. That'd be one of the worst injuries I reckon you could get, wouldn't it? Because then you're in a moon boot.
Mandy played netball. She did a Masters, and they'd played 8 or 9 netball games outside on the bitumen, and came in on the 10th game out of 11 and was on a sprung timber floor. Yeah. So from the bitumen to the timber, when you jump, and she was a centre person, that you actually propel higher because you've got more push from the timber floor because it's sprung. So on the way down, she was looking for the floor, which she thought was normal to the bitumen, and she was still looking for it. And then by the time she felt it, all her weight was out of whack, and she had like a bullet hole in each horn on the back of the meniscus. If you had a look at the X-ray, looked like 2 bullet holes had come out the back where that had actually, the load was that much, it actually popped.
Oh.
And then she did her ACL and medial, so she did the whole package in one. And
gee whiz,
man, what a nightmare that was 14 years ago, and that's still giving her trouble today.
Oh, does it? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a nasty injury. I mean, even
Netball's the worst, I think, out of all of them.
Well, there was a girl that did her ACL because I follow the Suncorp Super Netball, the big girls that like the AFL level, and watched that the other day. And the Melbourne Mavericks girl, just landed. Similar to what you're saying, she didn't quite find the floor, and then her foot hit, and she did her ACL, and she was screaming, and it was.
I think the pain is
terrible.
If the pain's enormous first, it's bad, and if the pain stays, it's not so bad.
Is that right? Okay.
So apparently, the bad one, you get instant pain, then it goes away.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And then the leg swells up, and then that stops it trying to move around. But if it stays painful, then apparently that's not as bad.
Dr. Ash, look at this guy. Look at this doctor.
How's that, eh?
Which doctor? Yeah, no, I've never really done bad injuries touching wood. I've never really broken a bone either, which touching wood. So I've been quite lucky in that regard. Don't know what that is, but just luck, I guess. But when you get older, I guess injuries are always worse too.
Well, they take longer to heal, don't they, also?
Yeah.
A big shout out to the Nude Window, Dave and Alex up there on the Sunshine Coast. They do lovely big new curtains, and they're made in-house. They go around and do all sorts from commercial stuff to domestic, and they get out there. They have their own factory there and make their own gear.
Oh, nice.
They got a whole load of ladies there that are working in a nice air-conditioned factory. And
nice.
Yeah, they get out there. So the Nude Window, if you're up around that way, absolutely give them a call. They're on the Sunshine Coast. The other one we'll talk about is the Fox and Firkin, our old mate up there.
Miles Payne.
What a lovely guy. So
one of God's beauties.
We shot up there just a couple of weeks ago with Jack off to England with the cricket mob, and we sat up there. So yeah, big shout out to the Fox and Firkin. We'd like to get up there and have a beer with those guys. And
great pub.
It is a great pub up there.
Great atmosphere. And
lovely in summer and autumn. You got that outside dining that sitting area there as well. So
And when you got miles there, it's so much better.
you got miles and miles of beers in front of you, so that's pretty cool. SOS safety sign. We've got Jason the Chris man. So I need to go down and see them. I've left them alone for a little while, so I need to go down and get into them again.
They'd probably look out the front door, go, no, he's not here today.
Take some more beverage down there and wingle my way around again. So we might get the Bali trip out the way first, and then I better go down and see him. But
Jason's
and
going
Hellfire,
off.
we got David
Again.
down in Tasmania there. Make sure you get your crate of Hellfire booze and
Well, if you
get a crate of it.
if you're a Crows fan and you're heading down to Tasmania Thursday night to see them take on the Hawks, I know there probably won't be many that listen that will be going, but if you are, go down and see Hellfire, I reckon, while you're down there watching the Crows.
Yes,
While
absolutely, yeah.
go down there and...
It's not that far out of Hobart, really. It might be 40 minutes to the... Oh, you'll have to head slightly northeast for a little bit and make your way around there. And
we'll go down and see them. I mean, the Crows, I reckon they'll
go
beat
down
the
to Port
Hawks next
Arthur after
Thursday
you've
and
boarded and, go and have some fun. There's...
sit on the front lawn of Port Arthur and drink your Hellfire.
Oh, in the car park. How good's that?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure they'd like the word Hellfire at Port Arthur, to be honest. But,
they probably wouldn't. But
if you're going down to follow the Crom, as they call themselves nowadays, get down there and see Hellfire, I suppose. That'd be great.
yeah, AFL this week, mate. We did have the Crows had a win yesterday.
Didn't just have a win.
Had a 10-goal quarter, the second quarter. I only saw a little bit of it, but I did see the second quarter, and I went in and saw Manny for 2 minutes inside, and it was goal after goal after goal. There might have been 10 goals, 3 or 4 or 5 kicked for the quarter, so there could have even been a few more. But that certainly put the nail in the coffin for North Melbourne. They didn't turn up. I don't know what their issue was. It's only 800 or 900 clicks from Melbourne, but
Well, they're North Melbourne.
they certainly weren't there.
They're North Melbourne. Question for you on the Crows, right? I've been waiting for them to click all year, and I keep tipping them by 60, 70, and they've been losing games.
I'll try to. I don't know whether I can help.
But I always thought they were going to have a super year, and I couldn't work out why they're not. But
Yeah, you did say that early in the season, and I know they finished higher last year, or they finished top last year, didn't they? But this mob has a tendency to, once again, like the Yankees, to grab you, run with it for a little while, and then they act. This is the bit I don't like. They act as if they deserve the win next week, and they disappoint you, and that might go for 2 or 3 games in a row where they play really badly. And I think, if you put your Guernsey on, you play for that Guernsey every week. Okay, you're not going to win every week. No one's saying you're going to win every week, but if you're lazy, I did see they dropped Tilthorpe, rest him up or drop him maybe.
Yeah.
I
Injury
think
to his back again.
is it?
Yeah, so...
Okay, so he might have been carrying that for a little while. But, once again, I don't like the showy shit, and it really does piss me off when I see it. That if you kick the goal, yeah, okay, no worries. Oh, cool. Leave your fingers in your palm, mate. Don't start throwing fingers around. That really irritates me, and that really pisses me off quite a bit.
Yeah.
So be humble in the good and the bad time, as Brooksy says. Learn it, but don't walk. If you walk down in a dark alley, mate, and I know you're there, I'm going to chase you. So I don't like that sort of shit. But anyway, that's my bitch with the AFL. But they did have a win, which they did play well.
Here's my question with the Crows, right? We've been waiting for this all year. So yesterday, Thilthorpe was injured. He's gone out the team. There's no Walker, obviously. So it was just Darcy Fogarty up front.
Fogarty did quite well. That was his first game back. So
he did, but they went a lot shorter, and they actually played that type of run-on fast footy that every other team's playing. And look at the result and the score they got.
Well, certainly in the second quarter. I know the last quarter they turned it off anyway, probably halfway through. So, you generally find those games sort of come back a little bit less than, the 80 points that it was before. And it doesn't matter about the end result anyway. But
what do you do this week, though? Do you still go short and play that game style?
I wouldn't change. You don't change a winning lineup. Like, to me, I would...
So does Walker come back in?
I wouldn't bring Walker in. I think that he's in his twilight. I think that if you look for him and he's he has dropped that little bit off. We all know that. He's still a good kick, and he presents on the field. He's just dropped that little bit to be fast enough in the game, and the game has changed. If you're just kicking to a forward that's going to mark every time and he's going to kick 8 goals out of 10, yes, you would. But at this stage, as you said, I think that it's a matter of trying to run the fast game now.
Yep.
And get those quicker players in there, and you generally find you've got 8, 9, 10 people kicking goals.
Well, and that's what they did yesterday. They went to modern footy, and it really, really works. So,
to answer your question, yes, I would say leave it alone. Don't just bring Tilthorpe back early. Let him, if he is injured, get through it and heal properly. But don't change your lineup. But make sure that you put that Guernsey on. Play for the Guernsey, and your supporter base. They're the ones paying your bills, end of the day.
Absolutely. But to me, I wouldn't change that lineup. And the reason that I asked you
I'll back you on that one.
I just wouldn't change that lineup. I'd go down to Tassie. The Hawks are hurting at the moment. They've got a few injuries, people getting injured. They're not playing great footy. Melbourne rolled them yesterday. If I'm Adelaide, after winning by 80, I turn up down in Tassie Thursday night and we beat the Hawks, running with that same lineup. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold in Tassie. So the ball's going to be on the deck.
Yep.
So I don't think you go taller. I think you keep that same lineup is what I'm saying.
I agree.
And you start to get a bit of momentum behind your year then.
Well, and as they said also that they've only played low to moderate teams anyway, so the real test now is as you start to come back into the top 8 games, that you'll know your worth. And if they played like they did in the second quarter, like the first quarter, they still got beaten, and they generally get beaten in their first quarters.
That was terrible, that first quarter. But
so if you're up against a good team and they smack you 10 goals to 4, it's game over anyway. Even if it ends up you lose by 5 points or 1 point and complain that you lost by 1 point, you lost it in the first quarter. Yep. So to me, once again, if you put that Guernsey on, hey, there's going to be games where you don't turn up or nothing sinks or everyone's just a degree off.
Yep.
And you find it and you're going to get. But if you're not putting in the effort and you're putting the fingers up, drop the fingers, play the game, get back and win that ball in the centre, then you dictate what goes forward, because there's nothing worse than just kicking the ball forward and you got the big dude that just marks it every time in defence, like you see it with Port over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You can't do that in this modern game. You've got to kick specifically. If you're just dobbing 50-50, you might have 25 inside 50s and only get 2 marks.
Well, Port Adelaide went back to the old style on whatever night they played, Friday, I think it was. And went back to just kicking along down the line and they went away from what they've been doing all year now.
And they got exposed, didn't they?
And they got exposed. So, and centre bounce is so vital in footy these days because of the high scoring. And I think the Crows were a bit of a concern in that first quarter again. I don't know what they do in first quarters. I don't know whether they don't, let them. I think Kenny Hinkley said yesterday pre-game, don't let them touch the footies for 2 hours before the game, so then they're hungry for it because they're just...
Give them a Villie's pie or something.
There's just something that the Crows aren't getting in that first quarter. But
I think traditionally...
centre bounce is crucial.
I think traditionally, mate, they are lazy, and I am critical of them because I've said to my father-in-law for years now, until they put 5 back-to-back,
are they good enough to do that?
No, they've done it maybe once in the last 5 years, maybe. But you look at all the good teams. You look at Sydney, know how to win. Collingwood know how to win. All right, they're off the ball at the minute, aren't they? But Sydney was still down Saturday during the day, and they were down quite a bit, and they still know how to win. Like they come back.
That game Thursday night was a ripper, Collingwood-Sydney. And look, I know Collingwood lost, but they had so many bloody injuries, people out, and I know they chose to rest Pendlebury so they can be, you can talk about that or not, but...
Who got best on ground?
Well...
Collie Wobble?
No, it was Brodie Grundy got best on ground.
Good old Grundy.
He absolutely tore Collingwood apart, but they had a guy, Collingwood had a ruckman, like the game was level, and Collingwood had their ruckman go down, a young kid, he's only 20-odd, unfortunately did his ACL. So when he went off, they only had forwards to ruck because they went with one ruckman. So Brodie Grundy just took them apart from that point in time, and that's where Sydney came back. So Collingwood a little bit disadvantaged there, but great game of footy. And Collingwood, and coming back to what you were talking about, playing for the jumper, like that magpie spirit they showed the other night, even when he went down with his ACL, they were outnumbered and outgunned. But they always seem to bloody turn up and play for that jumper.
Victorian
Magpies.
Teams seem to have it, don't they?
Magpies
It's the VFL blood something into the AFL, VFL that the South Australian states don't have. You know, like you look at the endeavour that Port Adelaide have, is Port Adelaide very rarely, they don't stop. They don't give in. They don't be weak. All right, they might do some silly things. They might do some different exchanges in the centre, and then you might not have Butters or Horn Francis on, but at the end of the day, they're on. You saw it with Dangerfield for Geelong when he was even playing for the Crows. Sometimes you find that this is my belief only, is that you find those guys are another 6% on top of everyone else's ability in the team, and sometimes they're not always ready.
Yeah.
The beauty with Butters is kick. His kick and his disposals are very, very accurate. And that's where he's a killer in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Horn Francis, the same thing. He'll get the ball out of the middle, bang, bang, bang. All the forwards have to do is mark the ball. Now, I don't say that in jest. It's hard enough to mark the ball when you got three players on top of you and one in front of you trying to block your view. But end of the day, Port aren't far off. I don't reckon the Crows are where they think they are, and I think they do this quite often. They'll have a win this week. They go to Tassie. Fuck, it's cold down here. We shouldn't be playing down here, and they're weak. I hope they prove me wrong, but in the past they come out slow, and even if the Hawks are just off the ball a little bit, you're starting to play better teams. And if you're 4 goals down in the first quarter, that might be enough down there, even if it's raining, to be gone.
Well, I mean, look, footy's momentum, isn't it?
It is momentum.
So you get a very poor performance from Port Adelaide against the Gold Coast. I thought they were terrible. I thought they just didn't. They were
flat.
weak. They were
flat and
weak.
Not didn't line up. Didn't know where the other player was running.
And the Carlton Blues won last night for the first time in a long time. So next week at Adelaide Oval, Saturday night, you get a team of Carlton who's on a high playing at Port Adelaide that's a bit shaky in the knees.
Big shout out to the Robbos. They're good Carlton boys.
Yes, Robbo, he's a good blues man. So and the Crows now. So Hawthorn, everyone was talking about the Hawks winning the flag a couple of weeks ago. A couple of injuries, and they get belted yesterday by Melbourne. They go down to Tassie, and all of a sudden they lose to the Crows. Well, to this momentum, you've got to go with it when it's there, and I think that's the opportunity now for Adelaide is to go, well, we belted the mob yesterday. We really got to go down to Tassie and just make the Hawks' life.
I think so. If you want to make a statement to say that we think we are here, put your money where your mouth is. You got to win, mate.
What a cracking game Thursday night. Like, I cannot wait for Thursday night.
You know what? I like the AFL. I hate the way the AFL, halfway through the season, get rid of the Thursday night games and it goes back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think they're doing them all for the rest of the year, though.
Are they? They are now incorporating.
They are
beg your pardon,
incorporating Thursday nights, yeah. So
I love the Thursday and the Friday. You know, like you got, Wednesday is hump day. Thursday you're starting to look for a frothy and trying to see something on the TV. Gives you choice Thursday night. But I love the AFL Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, absolutely.
That's greater than the bulk of the week. There's 4 to 3. There's only 3 days you don't get footy, or and we can rely on the baseball to get us through. So.
No, I agree. 100%. 100%. And you get through the week and you get to Thursday night, and usually it's like, well, okay, what am I going to do Thursday night? Oh, I can't wait for Friday night footy. But now you've got an extra game on a Thursday night. You get home from work and you go, oh, wow, here we go. And the way they're doing them at the moment, especially with the fixturing, came out during the week for around 16 to 22. all the big games they put on the Thursday and Friday nights. So, there's some big Thursday and Fridays coming up for the rest of the year. So I think that's exciting. Sunday, I think there's a few Port and Carlton games on Sundays now, given the way they've been playing. But I know Adelaide's got a few Thursday, Friday nights coming up. So, Thursday, Friday night footy, mate. I totally agree. Thursday, I love it.
And
Absolutely
you
love it.
better do a big shout out to Michelle Nichols on the bus.
Oh, well, how's she been? How's she going? Well, we haven't spoken to Michelle for a while.
She's had a couple in the last few weeks. So
has she?
We did 3 last week, so she can't complain too much.
Well, no. And we had a few weeks off after that, didn't we? Going back.
Mad, crazy woman laughing on the bus by herself.
Well, there's plenty of them. I take the bus in and out to work these days, and goodness me, Ash, there's a few sights and sounds on that bus. A few different things. So
before we get into politics, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, hello, Mish.
Yeah. Hello,
Love you, mate.
Hello to the girls.
Hello, Kyla.
How's the just quickly closing off on just some of the sports stuff? Have you seen Gav?
No. Spoke to him last week by phone.
Has it been commissioned yet? The batting coach?
Look.
Doesn't matter. It was only a quick passing one if you knew.
No,
so
I do. Look, they're
waiting on the air conditions.
Yeah,
to
they've
commission.
had a few issues just with things going in and being completed. So there's still not
might be
100%
supply also on that one.
But however, the young Marlins, congratulations to Burnsy and Dipper. They coached the Marlins to go to the Nationals in July. So Gavin very much opened up the indoor tunnels just so they can do some training inside the tunnels to get ready for that national tournament in July. So they've been doing a bit of work in that tunnel. But in terms of it actually being, up and ready, we're not far away, as Gavin has told me. But we'll just, still a little bit away, unfortunately. But it's getting there.
We're going to quickly get onto the UFOs, mate. It's a topic. It's a topic now where this is where it's sad for me that Scotty has missed out now on how much now that it's starting to actually go forward now. The US government has released 141 photos, I think it was, something like that, and videos of UAP UFO. Now, a lot of the stuff, I believe, or some of the stuff has already been pre-released anyway over the last couple of years. I don't think it's the smoking gun, but it is, I believe, a acceptance that there is UFO UAP. Now, this is pretty life-changing if it comes out that there is stuff in the sky that we don't know about, where it's from. Then I think that's a big deal. That's a life changer in regards to most stuff.
Oh, yeah. So
we'll wait and see what comes out on this one. I've been watching a couple of movies. You're talking about the one with Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people follow it. Bob Lazar was the first whistleblower, if you like, that came out from Area 51, S4, Section 4 it was called, back in 1982, I think it was. And this guy's still going today. He's a metallurgist. He's did work on and has been in a UFO. So this is what has been said to us. So there's a new one on Prime Video now, which is called S4, the Bob Lazar stuff. If you can get a look at it, it is good.
Yep. The
way that they have absolutely nailed with AI to make it look authentic as it can. And if that's what he's been in and that's what he's seen and that's what's going on, there's some technologies out there that, as we've always said, the governments are 25 years in front of where we are at where we are today. So the knowledge they've got that we've got with our iPhones, there's 25 years of knowledge already out there that we don't even know about. Well, so there's a lot of stuff.
Well, Bob Lazar did a podcast with Joe Rogan.
Yes.
And was on the Joe Rogan show. Basically spoke about...
With Jeremy Corbell, yes.
Yes, he was. And he actually... the movie that you're talking about on Amazon Prime, Joe Rogan actually watched that movie with Bob Lazar to see what his reaction was.
Okay.
Bob Lazar said it was like he was back in Area 51 in Section 4. That's how accurate
Yep.
and lifelike it was. He said it was just going back to what it all was because they listened to him. They asked for his advice as to what it should look like. And he went away, and then he came back and watched it and on the premiere, and he actually said, "Joe, I can't believe how this is like I was going back there." So that's pretty great that they got it that lifelike.
And I think it took them a few years to do it. Might have been 3, 4, 5 years to get this thing down on paper and produce it as they did. I did watch that on Friday night after the footy and. Went to bed thinking, okay, that looks pretty cool. And then the other one I wanted to talk about was The Sleeping Dog. That's on Prime Video as well. We can watch that one.
We need to get them to sponsor us.
That's really the life of Jeremy Corbell, and to see his story and where it is today in regards to whistleblowers. Really don't get the protection that they should. I don't want to go too deep into this one because this one's fairly touchy at the best of times. But if you can watch Sleeping Dog, that one's a really good story of a guy that's been involved in it, and he talks to a lot of people in there. I won't spoil alert it. Go and watch it because a lot of this stuff is. I believe it's real, and I believe the people that have died that are in this movie, I can't see why they would make it up. And there's some very prominent names in there to watch. There's a whole load.
Yep.
You got Steven Spielberg's movie coming out soon called what's it called?
You've got me on that.
Yeah. I forget what it's called. It's about saying that
happens at our age.
UFOs are real. Yeah. But anyway, especially with a few beers on Sontag, so it does deviate the brain a little bit. But
Boy, might as well just call it whatever you like.
Spielberg's got one coming out real soon. I think that's due in June or around that time, and there's a lot of stuff coming in this sector. So. As I said, I'm sad that Scotty's missed it, but end of the day, life's about choices, and he's missed this one. So keep your ears to the ground there because there's a lot of stuff coming out, and I think what the US government at the moment is going to do is they're going to keep filtering out weekly at the moment with the UFO UAP stuff.
Yep.
And if you watch The Sleeping Dog, and I would promote that's a good one to watch. Towards the end of that film, he does drop a couple of little bombs there at the end,
really?
so it's worth a watch. $8 or $9 to watch it. I don't know what it's worth, somewhere around there, but man.
No, look, it's something that you've done a bit more research on than myself, but I'm through you. I'm ending up really, really interested in it at the moment. I'm watching lots of documentaries and things on it, and trying to learn as much as I can, and I've certainly watched every video and photo that's come out from the US government. Fascinating time ahead. I mean, some of those videos, I know you're a bit of a believer in it, where I'm sort of a little bit more skeptical, but at the end of the day, what I've seen recently where, things are coming down towards Earth, they're slow, they're watching, then all of a sudden they just take off at light speed. Nothing can go at that pace, and that's what everyone's saying. It is interesting. And look, the fact that those sightings, they were saying that like 80% of them or 90% of them, I can't remember exactly the percentage, but were over the top of military targets. So were they checking out our military capabilities from up above?
They're checking out all the nukes. Yes, they are.
So that fascinates me as well. It's an amazing time. And I mean, we had Trump just recently going to China this week.
Let's get into politics. Keep that one going. Keep the journey over to China. I've heard mixed bags on that one. He did get privy to where Xing lives. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And look, if you read the American press, they say that it went very well and that Trump was a big winner out of it. So there's no real been announcements. They say that China doesn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. They say that they're going to help with the Strait of Hormuz and trying to clear that up. However, the thing that I'm sceptical about, Ash, you can get wrapped up in the USA of it all, but China hasn't announced any of this. So,
Sure.
how much do we trust Gigi and to follow up and go with what he's supposedly told Trump? I mean, is it true? Is it not? Is it Trump coming back and just sort of try to make it all look like it was a winner, where perhaps it was
winner chicken dinner?
Yeah, where it might have been a bit of a 50-50 so far as what China is concerned, the way they see it. So it's hard to tell. I guess you can only see what China's actions will be from here.
Did Xing meet him at the airport?
He was at the airport with a ceremony. My goodness me, the ceremony
Was
went
it the
off.
exit to the exit that he didn't go? One of them, something he didn't go to.
The exit he didn't go to, which people are, you can throw a blanket over that.
Fair enough. He probably
don't
doesn't want to see a big blue plane
I think
anyway.
He had to wash his hair or something that day. But, it's all these are you can make up your own sort of guess and thought on what you think of it. Is it true? Is it not? Does it mean anything? Does it not? We can only now, a lot of commentators are saying, and I agree, you can only now judge, did it go well by China's actions? If they come out and back and do what Trump is saying they're going to do, then we'll know that it went okay. But we won't know for a little bit of time now whether that went as successfully as what Trump's saying.
All right. Let's go back to Australia now, mate.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the Labor government in regards to not only the polling at the moment, which I know you got your head around, but at the end of the day, this thing with the negative gearing looks ugly for the government, doesn't it? If you look at the pre-advertising for the last couple of years, where how many commentators have commented, you're not going to touch negative gearing, are you? No, I think I was pretty clear. You're going to say, oh, is he a modern day Robin Hood? Is that what's going on?
Well, and secondly, like the thing that Jim Chalmers said, and Albo has also said on their news whenever they're on the news shows promoting what they're doing, they were attacked pretty strongly by all comers, and they've just said, yes, we changed what we said we'd do at the election. However,
sure,
we've now changed our position. So, okay, you can do that. That's your right. But Australian voters traditionally don't like when you don't say what you're going to do at the election, and you change your mind and you go a different way. So, does that come back and bite them on the backside? I mean, there was a recent poll come out, which I was looking at the other day, which was from, I'm just trying to...
Don't forget, we watched the podcast with Mark Boris the other night too, didn't we? That went through with quite a lot of what the government really needs to do to make the country healthy.
Prosperous is the word he kept using.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I was short on the word, but at the end of the day, what we're doing is now we're trying to put out fires, aren't we? Well, it's a negative budget because it's not actually trying to pull the country forward. We don't manufacture anything here anymore. We're almost got to a negator where everything's starting now to be more import over manufacturing. We don't make cars anymore. We don't do this. We don't do that. How much is owned by overseas people for our rice and our sugar and our, all the commodities out there. A lot of it is oil. Oil's another good one. We're not refining here. Okay, we need to go forward into being a country that is self-sufficient, as we know, and as we discuss weekly when we do these podcasts.
Yep.
Mark Boris, he's just brilliant, isn't he?
Oh, he's outstanding, and his podcast the other day was with Chris Richardson, who's
That's right.
ex-Deloitte Access Finance. And
how clear was he when he spoke, man?
Outstanding, and not only that, what they did was they dumbed it down and said, okay, so Mark Boris said, well, okay, if I'm in Australia, where are we going wrong, and what does this budget do, and broke it down. So if you've got time, go and look up Mark Boris on YouTube under his podcast. Watch the one with Chris Richardson. He explains it very, very clearly. So for the layman to understand where we're going wrong and sort of doesn't paint it in a real positive, but says that we need to get back to, using our own resources and making sure that, the one big thing that will come up, Ash, between now and the next federal election, it's probably going to be the main topic of the next federal election, I would say to you, is going to be immigration. Because now we're seeing two totally different sides and approaches. Labor aren't going down the immigration and stopping that. They're still allowing that to people to flow in through the country.
Still a massive amount, wasn't it?
And it's still flowing through every day and every week. They're saying they're not going to touch that, which was, capital gains and taxes that they brought in, going after those that have done well in life. Is that the way to go, or is it to stop the immigration side of it, give the country a breather and give time to get new housing and catch up a bit? Or
just with skilled labour as well.
Yeah.
Like the amount of dirty job sites around there and poor workmanship.
Yep.
There's no point building shit quality homes that aren't going to last the time anyway, and it's very bad out there. And I say that sincerely. The lower you go in the pyramid, the worse it gets.
Absolutely. But, so we tax someone that's worked hard all their life and done well for themselves, put extra taxes on them. However, we then still allow foreigners to keep coming in daily, weekly, monthly, yearly in great number when there's no houses. But the way that we'll get out of it is we're going to tax all the people that have done well in life so that they give up their investment properties.
Well,
I don't agree with that.
You are going to really rob from the medium to give to the poor, which not to the poor as such, but what you're doing is you're now going to get rid of that middle market, because why would I bother taking a risk on a $600,000 or $700,000 property that you negative gear?
Yep.
Negative gearing is a 20-25 year long term.
Yeah.
Slow return, even if you get anything out of it at the end. It's a very safe, low return investment.
Most people don't make a profit out of it. So
there's so much money goes back into keeping the thing alive. There's that many meetings, and seriously, for the amount of money you get out of it, it is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's low return, and all you're doing is you're giving those that have done well and worked hard in their life even less return on it. Look, it's a Labor budget. That's what a lot of people are saying. It is a Labor budget because it's for those that are, the younger and the lower income. But I think they've missed the point. As
they said with the tax incentives, make the tax incentives better if you, do have those properties, and let those younger people get some sort of advantage that they can then start to be a player in the game. Because at the moment, the rich or the middle people have the majority all the time on getting these houses, don't they? Because they've already got the money. They've already got 3 or 4 houses. They're the ones that can go up and down. People that are young, they got a ceiling at X and they can't go above it. Otherwise, they can't repay it.
The other thing is, mate, I was thinking about this yesterday. If you go after those that have done well and they've got a good income and they've got a couple of investment properties, right? The main thing that they're fighting, that Australians are fighting against at the moment, is international people coming in with money and just buying up houses and properties.
Sure.
So if you're then going to tax Australian citizens who have done well in life, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, of course. Well,
you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely, mate. I wish I could say FF. Yeah, absolutely. It's cruel that you're actually pinning back the very Australian that has put his nuts on the line the whole way through.
So to me, if you're looking at it that way, then all of a sudden you're going to weaken the Aussie that's done his hard work and built, his portfolio up against international people. You're just giving them a free ride to come in and even buy more properties.
Well, once again,
if they're going to bring their money in and buy more properties.
Sure, if you can buy the Australian car over the Kia.
Yeah.
surely you'd buy that. But we don't make cars anymore. So, the same as you said, you got these people coming in overseas
Yeah.
that are spending big on, buying out certain suburbs of South Australia and Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
Make them pay the tax. They're the ones that are coming in heavy. Don't slug the Australian battler.
That's where I like Angus
The
Taylor.
mums and dads and the small businesses here that still are the fucking guts of the country.
We're destroying our own people.
We're destroying the Australian culture.
We are indeed. And look, Angus Taylor had a budget reply speech the night after, which is always, what you get. Now, his reply speech, sorry, I put my teeth in. He basically has said that the Liberals are looking at stopping immigration numbers, and they're also going to stop benefits. So if you're from an international country, you can't get Centrelink, you can't get any benefits straight from the get-go from arrival, which I think is terrific, because it's just saying, no, mate, you've got to come here and work for it just like other people do, and I think he's to be applauded for that, to be honest. I think he's taken a little bit of air out of Pauline in terms of, wanting to limit immigration numbers. He's gone after that side of it now. So I think that was a good tactic from the Libs, just to try and gain some ground back from her.
Sean, just for our viewers, go to your phone and just find out those the numbers with Liberal, Labor and obviously One Nation now, because the numbers there are numbers we've never seen in Australia.
Well, this is a poll that came out 2 days ago through Ozpoll, which is on X, and it was done through Roy Morgan, which of course is the main data centre for polling and the one that most people look at. And this was done 2 days ago, where it showed One Nation at 32%. Oh, sorry. Federal voting intention, right? So this is going out to people saying, okay, who would you vote for? Through Roy Morgan. Now, it said 32% One Nation, right? 28 to Labor, 28.5, sorry, should I say, and 16.5 to Liberal.
Liberal, God.
That is on Green, 11.5, but, that's people that live in
Green Machine is...
live in a cave and think the world's great.
I get the
that's
Greens
okay,
ethics, but you're really, in this theatre that we're in now, the Greens really need to, and I think they'll start to dissolve a little bit, I reckon, in regards to where we're heading.
But just have a think about that for a minute, Ash and viewers. 32% One Nation, 28.5 Labor. So the current government is out being polled by One Nation at the moment. And not only that, if you look at 16 Liberal, One Nation 32, mate, that's half when I went to school. So
sure is.
Half the percentage is saying Liberal compared to One Nation. So One Nation is saying no immigration, let's get our country back. And I think that's why it was so important for Angus Taylor the other night in his reply to just go, we're stopping immigration, we're going to start going back to making Australia first, because I think he's now trying to claim that ground back from One Nation, because I think they can see it's an issue. So, of course, also last Saturday, if people are unaware, Farrer was the by-election, which was vacated by Liberal Susan Lee, who left the Liberal Party as the leader. The election last week was a spanking, and again, One Nation demolished everyone in that and won that seat. So they've got their first federal actual seat. So yeah, look out for them. It's amazing.
It's a new era, isn't it? It's there's something changing here. I know that the defence budget has exceeded even wartime prices and numbers at the minute. So it is changing. I think, as I say, if you want peace, prepare for war. I think for the last 2 decades we've been a little lazy on actually trying to update or waiting for technology to catch up. You never know. That could be the reason why also that they have waited, and that does make a lot of sense because there is a lot of new technologies coming through. So
do Australians want their country back?
They might have. Look, I think it's still got to remain Australia.
Yep. In
Australia, do as the Australians do, and if we lose that, and don't forget, there's 1.2 6, 7, 14. There's 1.5 billion Chinese and there's 1.5 billion Indians.
Right.
There is a massive population difference between, if you look at 26 million, I know I'm going sidetrack here for a little bit.
No.
But if you look at, Australia's got, say, now 26 to 28 million people here. You go to America, even the UK is only 80 million. You go to America, you've got 340, 350 million. That's 4 times greater again that you've got.
Well, Labor...
All those countries are 4 times bigger than America.
Yeah.
I go back to answering your question about losing Australia. There's a good chance we lose Australia just with the amount of people coming in. We've got to cap that. Otherwise, once we get that tipping point where there's more than us, we're in a big shithole, aren't we?
Well, we are, and it's actually a worldwide trend at the minute too, as we've spoken about on the show. Like England and the UK, sorry, not England, but the UK just had their elections in the last week as well, and Labor, who are traditionally allowing people to come in, got absolutely spanked, so much so that the Prime Minister looks like he may resign in the next few days. Several of his key advisors have.
Unreal.
So, but the party that won the election and dominated is called UK First. So they're, for people that don't know, they're one nation in the UK, if that makes sense, right?
Okay, so they're authentic English people.
Take our country back. And not only that, Labor, which has always polled well in Wales, in the UK, got absolutely trounced by UK First in that election. So I think people now are going, well, geez, we just want our country back. And it's not just a thing here. It seems to be a worldwide thing. Poland, I know, have stopped immigration for a while to try and get their country back. Germany have, but the UK recently has really just gone, well, no, we that's not what we want. People in the UK are going, no, stop immigration, UK first. And they dominated that election only in the last few days.
Shaun Evans, we've exceeded the hour, mate. I've got a red light ringing above my head here.
That went quick.
Thanks so much for giving up your time again on Sunday. I know we've had a couple of weeks off with just bits in the way, Mother's Day and everything else. So thanks for coming back today. It's fantastic to have you back here again. And
oh, mate, always a pleasure.
Your camera can run all day, but the old Canon R50, mate, she's got a timetable. So
I can sing if you like.
So thanks so much, man.
Thanks, mate.
We'll try to get back into the routine of Sontags again on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to everybody. Be safe out there. It is pretty tough. And
take care, folks.
Make sure you ring your buddies and make sure you tell your children you love them. And
absolutely.
And get through it. So take care, everyone. We'll be back. Thanks for your time. And,
bye, folks. All the best.
We'll catch you next Sunday.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you, Shaun. See you, buddy.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye, mate.
Bye, mate.